off running. He hurdled the fence. He jumped the fence, and there was a cow in the field, and he just knocked the freaking cow over. And just plowed the cow. And then that was it. They said, all right, you're good. We'll take you.
Is the most important stuff that's going on in your life. Gotta be James Madison football.
Well, I tell you what, they came to play in the second half. I don't know what happened, but anyway, you know what? We're just happy to be there. It's we were outclassed for sure, but they came back strong in the second half.
I mean, making the playoffs though that's unheard of and unprecedented. What did you think of that? It'd probably be a Duke.
Well, I think it was really cool. Of course, Cignetti's gone and won the national championship at Indiana. He came from JMU, and Chesney is at UCLA now. It's like a stepstone. I guess they keep going to the big. You can't blame them. They the big checks, and so I don't know. I don't know how JMU's is always going to be a good program. So I feel good. I feel good that they actually got to go out there and play.
Didn't they land? Was it Billy Napier?
Yeah, Napier's coming. Yeah, I'm excited about that. So he's great.
That's not bad for you. You didn't play football, did you? Or I know you did track. Did you play football?
Well, I did play football, but I ended up just doing track at JMU.
Okay.
Because I got beat up too much. Because Charles Haley was on our team, But
Oh, is that true? I didn't know that.
Charles Haley and Gary Clark. We had a great team. And our kicker was good God. He played for the Bills. He missed that kick, and they Scott Norwood was his name. And he was a great kicker. He had one bad kick, and they ran him out of town. But anyway.
Well, did you ever go up against Haley in any way or watch
in high school? We did. In high school, I was the quarterback, and he was the defensive end at William Campbell High School.
What were those days like?
Well, he was awesome. It was crazy. It was. I loved football. I didn't really start playing until my junior year in high school because I transferred schools, and then but I was, right away I was good at track. I was a good high jumper, a good hurdler. I won the state in hurdles, high jump, long jump. I did all that, so I was good at all that stuff. But I did not. I weighed about 160 pounds. I didn't bode well against Charles Haley and some of those big guys. They'd snap me in half.
Did you know back then this guy's going to be a Hall of Famer or something special? Or
well, you know what? The funny thing about Charles, they were recruiting him, and nobody was recruiting him. Nobody. He was like 6'4", and he was real skinny, kind of a slim guy. But they're like, but one of the coaches took him out. Went to visit him up at the farm over there in William County, outside of Lynchburg, and they said, well, Charles, I don't know, man, if you're big enough to play college ball. I know you're tall but you're very lanky, and all this. And they said, yeah. So he took off running. He hurdled the fence. He jumped the fence, and there was a cow in the field, and he just knocked the freaking cow over. And just plowed the cow, and then that was it. They said, all right, you're good. We'll take you. Can you imagine that? He was, but he was just a great, great athlete. And there's so many, that come out of Virginia, especially the East Coast and Virginia Beach and that area. But man, it was phenomenal. But we had a lot of guys that, we had 3 7-foot high jumpers in our district in high school.
That's amazing.
That was crazy. That was it was nuts. But
did you go up against any notable names or on track?
Well, yeah. All the high jumpers, of course, and Ronaldo Nehemiah was doing. Remember that guy?
Of course, yeah.
He was a great hurdler, but he was so good. We did all the relays, but it was we had a good team, but it was we were always a little bit out, distanced in football and of course everything really,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know, because JMU's small school. There was only 8,000 students there when I was there.
What's it up and down? How big?
25,000 or 20. It's a lot bigger now, but
It's growing
who
up.
knows? They keep getting bigger.
Well, the bigger transition from there. How you feeling now? You,
Well, I feel great.
you sound better. You look better. You look leaner. Is that true, or am I just exaggerating a little bit?
No, I mean I feel great. I feel really, really good. I'm working out again and doing all the things. But I was always I had a good diet and I did all that stuff, but it was just genetic heart disease, that's what it was. But I feel great now. I mean, I'm just kind of ready to get back out there. I'm going out with Old Dominion in the spring. I'm excited to see those guys and we're going to Canada and, hopefully get to play a lot more this year. I'm kind of, jonesing to get out there and get in front of people and play.
Did you play? You played a little bit last year. I
Yeah,
think.
we did. We did about I don't know, 35 shows, 40 shows maybe. I'm not even that many, but we did about 30 something. And but we're ready to I told my agent, I said, let's double that this year. Let's double it. I'll know when it's not, I'll know when I'm doing too many.
So what
You
did you have to do? What did you have to do? I mean, in that downtime, were you just restless and dying? Let's do something. How did you occupy your time? When
A lot of it I did a lot of rehab. I still do a whole lot of stuff, um rehab is so many different phases. You're doing the hyperbaric chamber, you're doing all kinds of stuff, and that stuff brought me back so much quicker, I think. And there's so many things you can do, individually. I mean, I'm just trying to get back on the bike and get, walking every day and doing all that stuff. And now I'm back in the weight room, which feels really good. But my joints hurt. That's it. But that's just getting old.
what was some of that like? What was like some of the rehab process like, especially like the hyperbaric chamber? What was that? What was it like?
I did like 100 visits to the hyperbaric chamber. I mean, you put a mask on and they pressurize you. I tell you what, I think it was such a huge part of my healing, process. Um, but now it's, I'm just trying to get back in the weight room and put some weight back on, and I'm back up to 200 pounds at least because I got down to about 148 when I had my heart attack and stroke and all that. So I was about 210 and working out all the time, and I was buffed out pretty good. I kept working out harder and harder and thinking I could get through. I'll get through this. I just got to get through. I got to keep working out, and then I just went. Then I died. So it was something.
I mean, you look back at that the same way now. Do you look back and say like, especially when you're trying something new now? I mean, is it a process where like you're like at first like I don't know if I want to tread that far or go that hard, and then
Yeah,
it's
well,
like, okay, now it comes natural. Almost like for me, like I broke my elbow or tore my elbow, didn't want to lift for a week or two. Then after a while, I don't even think of it. Is that the same way, kind of with you, or
yeah. I think you get you get back to the point where you're, got the fire again, but you don't want to. I mean, heck, man, it's different training when you're 30 or and then you're 60, right? So your muscles just tear. You can snap I snapped a bicep. I mean, just completely snapped it. And I was like, what was that all about? But but it's I feel different. I can breathe. My head's clear. And that took a while to get that cloud, come out of that cloud.
but how long do you think that took?
It took a good 2 years. It took a
Wow.
good 2 years.
I mean, was it just a gradual, or was it just like I was a snap one day? I'm like, I'm ready. It's time to go.
I think it was pretty gradual, and but when I got home, I came home out of rehab and I got back to Nashville, within 5 or 6 months, whatever, and it just kind of felt weird. I kind of walked around the house and but then I kept taking walks, and I think getting back out to nature and taking those long walks and that changed everything. I
Mhm.
mean, I love doing that. That's part of my everyday thing. I'm trying to do it more. Of course, in the wintertime now, I'm just, I'm freezing half the time. But I think working out and getting back into the groove really, really helped me.
How did you occupy your time when you weren't touring? When you had to sit at home and wait and wait? What'd you do? What'd you end up doing just to kill that time?
Well, a lot of it was just sitting around and just playing piano, and just sitting at the piano and just I walk from room to room. I got different pianos in different rooms,
Oh,
so I kind of go out there just to change it up a little bit, where I'm just not in a rut, but I have so much more patience now. I'm very I can breathe, I can relax, and I can sit down and watch TV. I can watch a series. I never was able to do that stuff. I was so ganked up. I just didn't know because my I wasn't getting any blood flow, and so you don't know what you don't know until something happens, right?
but did you think it was ever going to be that way again, or that you would be able to relax, or is that something that you just thought for a while, like, hey, I'm gonna have to go through this for forever?
I just didn't know. I mean, I couldn't sleep. I never could sleep. I slept maybe a couple hours a day. That was really, really hard. I mean, I would stay up all night. I was like a vampire, and I didn't know what it was. I guess it was just now I know. Now I know that just I wasn't getting any oxygen to my brain, and all that stuff was going down. But now it's a whole different feeling. I feel great.
Well, when it comes to writing songs, when it comes to what's the new one, is it what it means?
Yeah, what it means is the new one coming out.
How easy is
Um,
that to write now? Like, how is it more easier to write something like that? Is it more relaxed, more patience, more?
I think so. I think there's I was really writing a lot when I had my heart attack. I think um, I was just writing and writing and writing. I'm digging through songs now, finding songs. I'm like, oh, this is pretty good, or this is okay, or whatever, and but what it means is kind of a is autobiographical in that way. You go through something like that. It's who knew? I mean, I didn't know what was going on, why I felt so bad. I didn't know I was that my arteries were clogged. I didn't have any idea. And but now it's different. I just feel different. I feel like I feel completely like a new person. It's kind of weird. It's kind of cliche, but it's true.
What did the other side look like?
I wish I could tell you. Everybody goes, "Did you see anything? Did you talk to James Brown or anything, or did you see Elvis?" But I don't remember anything. I just was really struggling. Um, I just, I don't know, but it's just now I can just relax and I can be, because I never was very good at that. I was always such a spaz. Everybody thought I did drugs. I never did drugs, you know. I would have been a waste. But it was just um, I don't know. I feel like a different person now. I feel definitely grateful, more in the moment than I was. I was really just who knew, you know.
What is your day-to-day change? Like pre-heart attack, post-heart attack? What if that you had to add into your routine, eliminate, and just make sure this doesn't happen again?
Well, I never I didn't drink or do drugs or never did. Boring as hell. I'm just a um but I think I can relax and have conversations, and my relationships are better, with my kids, you know, my my family, my significant other. I mean, we're just everything's better. We're just it's not so angsty. I was really having a hard time. I didn't know why, but I know now. You know.
I mean, if you take it through just a little bit, what is the workouts like now? Now that let me back up just a little bit. Like, how have you progressed from that day one? Like, when we spoke back in 2024, you were just starting the rehab a little bit for a couple months. Now,
right,
12, 14 months later, how has it progressed from then until now that you are in the weight room now, I mean, strong enough to get sore at least?
right. I mean, it's I love doing like leg presses and stuff like that. I mean, we just got a new machine at the club, and I love doing that. So and I got new knees about 6 years ago, and so I mean, I can do stuff now. I can't really run anymore, but I can walk and do that stuff, and I can do the bike. So I get on the Peloton a lot, and just try to do better and better. I mean, over the next 3 months, it's when it's gray and you know what that's like in Scottsdale, but it's in Nashville. It's just gray and cold, rainy, snowy. So I'm just excited to be, you know, on the bike, and I'm just going to get geared up until I go back out with the Old Dominion guys in the spring. So it'll be fun.
Now, have you do any specific training? I mean, just to prepare for the road? Have you done different diets or, I mean, tone or I guess dialed in your diet a little bit, nutrition a little bit, just to play it safe?
Well, well, you know what? I do eat well, and I don't do anything stupid anymore. I mean, I was really strung out on ice cream back in the day. I loved ice cream, and but come to find out, I'm gluten intolerant, so I have to so now everything's coconut milk and almond milk or whatever. But I can't really do milk.
Mhm.
So so I was just putting protein in milk, and I was drinking a lot of it. I was feeling like crap, and I wondered why that was. But now I know. So I found out a lot of things about, myself, my body, and what I can do and what I can't do.
What did it take to put 50 pounds back on?
Well, it was gradual. I mean, it was I mean, of course, I didn't even recognize myself when I was in Atlanta at rehab, and I looked in the mirror and I kept looking and going, somebody behind me. But I was so thin, I'd never seen myself, 150, 100 whatever pounds. That was at least 50 pounds less than I was, and I didn't really have any fat on me, so I was just bone, and so it was a different. It just took. It was gradual, and I took my time, and I still do. I'm not trying to, you know, get there quicker or do anything crazy, right?
Hmm. I mean, did it take, I mean, when you were at 150, then that's a low weight. I mean, did you feel different? I mean, obviously you felt, I would think you would feel different.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, did it affect you? I mean, when you were in the rehab process, did it affect you as far as your songwriting, as far as your day to day getting your music work done?
I didn't really write anything for a long time. It took months off, when coming back from rehab, and every once in a while I would get with one of my buddies and we'd get together and write a song, and but it was really it was insightful. I really did. Um, I was excited about writing again. I had written a lot of songs, and you get in this kind of in a song factory. You do it every day, and now it's just I just kind of, when I feel like writing, I just write, and then when I don't, I don't. When I want to watch TV or something, or take a walk or whatever.
But did you know what it means? Did you know you were going to write something based on honest moments, or was that something that just automatically just flowed out of you?
Well, you know what? It kind of came out of a conversation, like a lot of the songs do. And with Dean and Marty, we're just kind of in a room, and I've known these guys for decades, right? And it was kind of cool because I don't write many slow songs, as you know. I'm not a ballad writer really. I've written a couple of big hit ballads or something, but everything of mine generally is an up tempo, which I like. I like the energy. I like that kind of thing. But it's fun to sit down and write something that means something, and that's what it means. I like that.
I saw all the new press photos that you got sent over. They sent me over. They're all in sunshine, all bright colors. Was that by design or is
Yeah, I
everything
mean,
all?
I mean, when we shot the video, it was a beautiful day here in Tennessee. It's right up the road, and um, it was just it's pretty here, I mean, of course, we get so much rain and it's green and all that stuff. It's a lot different than out west. It's just different. But it was a cool. I mean, we were at a rock quarry, and it's really fun. Um, I do love. I love living in Nashville, and the surrounding areas are very, very, very cool. And it's very green here and lush, and we hardly get any snow, but we're supposed to get some tonight, so we'll see. But it's a cool. I mean, there's a lot of trails and hiking paths, and there's a lot of that's the one cool thing about Nashville. They really it's a lot of outdoorsy places to go and walk and hike and stuff like that.
Did you run into any bears out there or
Yeah,
mountains?
yeah, we get them sometimes. I mean, I try to stay away from them as much as I can, but I mean, even cameras on my property and stuff, I'll see, bobcats and coyote and all that stuff, but of course, it's a lot of deer, a lot of elk. I mean, not what, I mean, big bucks and stuff like that, so, I mean, we have a lot of um, cool wildlife, eagles, there's the eagle's nest right back in the back and it's so pretty, and, um, big hawks. And so I love that about this area. It's a lot of woods and it's you never know what you're going to see. A lot of owls and
Not
a
seen the
lot of
bobcat yet. Haven't seen the
what's that?
bobcat. I haven't seen the bobcat yet. I've seen lots of road runners we get out here.
I love roadrunners. I
They're
think
the
they're so.
coolest things ever. And finally saw for the first time since I last spoke to you, my first rattlesnake I finally
What did
saw.
you? There's a lot of them
That was
here. A lot of rattlesnakes in Tennessee. Yeah, but there's a lot of rattlesnakes. I mean, and a lot of copperheads and stuff like that. You get a lot of that because a lot of the water. There's a lot of water here. Um, so I try to stay away from that. It's like when I lived in Florida, you'd see alligators all the time, crocodiles. You'd see them all the time. And I never will forget when I was about, I don't know, fifth or sixth grade in Florida. We also lived in a kind of a golf community, and there was this I heard this lady screaming, and I look over and there's an alligator has got her dog. It was
oh,
awful. It
oh,
was like, I'll never ever forget that. And I was like, oh, it was horrible. But she had a
oh,
little dog, and it was awful. It was awful to
I
see
know.
that.
I know. We had in the backyard, we had like a family of quail. See the mother and the father, and they had about 10 little babies. And every
Oh,
day the blackbirds would just hover and watch it. So every day it would be 9 babies, 8 babies.
eight. Oh,
Finally, it got down like one or two left they had. And they just guarded them with their lives for like the next as many as they could.
oh,
But yeah,
yeah. It's just nature, man. It's horrible. It's
yeah.
it's very cruel, but it's just part of the way it is. It's fun to see it. I love it.
So when do you go back on tour? When does the tour start?
Well, I mean, we're doing a date coming up here in Atlanta, and we're doing um, we just added another couple of dates, for the summer, and of course the spring we're doing the Old Dominion thing in April and May in Canada, and then I think we're working our way back down, and hopefully we'll do at least 60 or 70 shows. I want that's my groove. I mean, doing like 30 shows, or it's just like, oh, I'm like, help.
Which means you got to hit Arizona then probably.
I hope so.
Oh,
I
when?
hope so.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do July, August, September. So
No, the country was it Country Thunder out there? Country,
oh,
we've
that's
done
in
it.
April. Yeah, that's in April.
Is that in April? Yeah, I can't
Mhm.
remember what it is. But it's my buddy's festival, and man, it's yeah. I mean, there's so many, and I mean, that's what I love about the summertime. I'd rather just play the summer, and
Mhm.
we're doing a cruise with Clint Black and Jody Messina. I think we're doing that coming up in February. That ought to be fun, and so it's kind of cool to get to do this stuff. But I've actually got my studio kind of back together now, so I'm up in my barn, and so I'm writing new songs
That
and just
feel,
loving it.
does that feel good now? I mean, just to get back to the routine?
Oh, it's so great. I mean, it's so great, and I've missed it. I've really missed the creative process. I don't know, you sort of take it for granted. I mean, I think I was on that song factory for routine for so long that you just I don't know. I think you kind of you kind of find I write a lot by myself, but there's a couple of people I like to write with here and there, and Jeffrey Steele and Craig Wiseman and some of those guys, and it's good to kind of get in your groove. I think if you spread yourself out too thin, you kind of that the music is affected like that.
Could you be rusty at any point? Does a professional singer after 30, 40 years get rusty?
I don't know. I don't know if don't you ever, I've had folks ask me, "Do you ever run out of ideas?" I'm like, "No." Well, because just life,
Mhm.
life, there's something thrown at you every day, whether it's from your girlfriend or your wife or your kids or your friends, and I mean, stories, you'll see something on the news or whatever. It's always something going on. That's the thing about life. It's just you never really run out of ideas. I mean, I think just about every idea's been done, but you just do it differently, and put your take on what it is. But it's that's the cool thing. You never know every day what you're going to get. Like my daughter's a writer now, and it's fun to write with her and see what she has to give, and life from a 25-year-old girl perspective is pretty cool too. And but I don't take that for granted anymore. I I mean I missed so much time with them when I was on the road for 25 years. I mean I've missed I mean the birth of your child, and then I flew home. I'd fly home for a day a lot of times just for a game or a dance competition or something. I would fly, and then I'd fly right back out to the West Coast or something. It was quite tumultuous for a while.
Was there then an unintended benefit of staying home a little bit longer than you normally would?
Now, oh, I love it. I've cherished every moment of it. I'm not like I don't know. I want to get back out and do the right things, not just things. Because you're I mean, I was I was overbooked before. I mean, I was doing 100 shows, and it's just too much. Where that's stuff you do when you're 25 and 30, not 50 or 60. So it's important for me to do the right gigs now instead of more of them. Just do the right amount and be comfortable and be happy and spend time with my family and see my friends and be able to write songs and just take my time.
What point then in a long tour does the fatigue start coming on, catching up with you? Is it early, mid, toward the end, or?
Well, by the end of a tour, usually I mean, you're, you're gone. Um, but you're excited at first, and like anything, if you can spread them out just the right amount, you get a little rest, and then you can kind of get a 2 or 3 days, 4 days, and rest, and then take it to the next city or the next region, and then and play. And so, I mean, I'm excited about getting back out this year, and I'm sure I won't do 100 shows again, but 50 or 60 would be great.
Is it still fun as it was 20 years ago, 2000s, 1990s?
It, it's more fun now because you do it because you love it, and you don't have to do it anymore. You get to a point where you're just going. I mean, you don't you were you had you're writing songs, you're recording songs, you're doing videos, you're doing radio shows, you're doing this, and you're doing TV and all this stuff, and it's like I've got a 25-year blank spot in my brain somewhere because it's also you've done so much over the decades, but now it's just everything's a lot more relaxed, and but you get on stage, it's fun. It's fun, and you have people singing your songs, and I don't know. I love going out there and playing music and having kids sing back to you. It's singing your songs to you, and there's a I don't know. I don't take that for granted at all anymore.
Now, do you have to do any more prep for this one? Are you doing any more preparation when you are on the road? Are you going to be hitting the gym a little bit, walking more?
Absolutely. I'm so sore right now. I can't move. I mean, I've been trying to just to get everything back, but it's just kind of the spring. It's that's coming up. That's so during the winter you're inside and you're on the Peloton. You're on the treadmill. You're doing all the stuff and working out in the gym while you can, and but it's been great. I'm kind of liking feeling sore again. That's when you're doing something right.
One of the last questions I do have is, are you doing now any type of recovery now just to ensure that you're going to be ready to go
Mhm.
tomorrow and not laid up?
Well,
Are you still,
I mean, I do the infrared sauna. I do that a lot too. That especially in the winter, I do cold plunges in the pool. I'll do a lot in the pool, and especially now my pool's ice. It's so I try to do that, and I found that stuff really helps me recover. I mean, especially the saunas and the ice pools, and it's really it's good recovery. It shocks your system, and all the research, man, is so good for you. And so I'm trying to do all the right things again. We'll see what happens.
so what is next now? Old Dominion on tour. What else is coming up for 2026?
Well, new music. I'm always writing new music. I've got a bunch of new songs that I've been writing, so I'm kind of trying to get my studio up and recording those songs now, and now you don't have to worry about labels and all that stuff, record labels. I mean, they told you when you could record, what you could do, how many songs. I mean, now I can record songs anytime I want and put them out anytime I want. So I think there's something really, I don't know, there's something freeing about that, and I'm excited about doing that.
Is that like the thought most singers think about? Think that's a good thing now to release it when you want now, or is there still an old school mentality that hey, we got to have our record release certain day, 12 track album,
Right.
so on.
Well, I think you can put out singles, and it's kind of back to where it was in the '60s. The Beatles used to put out. I don't think they did a record, a whole album, and I don't know how that worked, but back then it was a whole different thing. And they went through that phase where they were just doing singles, and singles to radio, and then I don't know. I think record labels could control things better. When you had a package of records, they could package it as a whole album, but now, I mean, we'll do records, we'll do albums, but every now and then you put a song out just to see what people think about it. Kind of you can test it, with the real people. Instead of they'd set us in a room and play it for a room of 12 people, and they'd make notes, and it was
Yeah.
just so. I don't know. That was so. I don't know. It just seemed like it was just too planned. Everything was so. I mean, radio. I think there was a lot of things about radio. They really, really did change everything. They kind of screwed it up. I mean, it was really rocking for a while, and then we had people coming to us and said, "Well, we're going to slow things down now. We've decided what we're going to do is this and this, and instead of kind of letting it happen." Um, but it's just a different time. It's a free for all now, and I kind of like that.
That's kind
You
of
know
cool.
what I mean?
So you're
I
into
like
social
it.
media, all the social media. You're into. I saw your video, your post yesterday.
Yeah, we don't need to run anything by anybody. We could just, hey, we'll get a new song coming out, see what you think about it, and then people will tell you. And I like it, because I mean, they're not going to like everything you do, but some things you get surprised every once in a while by folks going, man, I love this song or this song, and I mean, I've been blessed and had so many hit songs. So when you do concerts, you got 20 number one songs you're going to do of your own, or somebody or something you wrote for Alan Jackson or Tim McGraw or somebody, and then but now I want to try to do different songs every once in a while. Throw something else in that I miss, that I want to play, and see what everybody thinks about them, and so that's what we'll do, I guess.
Well, with that, one more question. Is criticism the same no matter where it comes from? Is it you get 10,000 likes or whatever on social media, you get some nasty comments, or a rock critic says something he doesn't like your album? I mean, is it the same both ways, or do you take one more personally than the other?
You got to be numb to that. I mean, I got so used to everybody telling me I sucked. I mean, so many people told me I sucked, and you're never going to make it, and that song sucks. It's got too many words, too many this, or this doesn't, whatever. I mean, you know what? An artist has got to just put that out of their head, and I mean, the you just got to do what you do, and you got to be comfortable doing it, and I mean, people hated songs that became number one songs. They hated them. I had 20 songs that were nobody would ever, everybody hated it, and then they loved it when it was a number one song. It was great then. So you just have to just drown out the all the bullshit, and then just do your thing, right?
Was that the athlete in you that says that, or that, hey, I'm not going to give a shit about that, or
I think it is. I think you just, that's the thing about music, is that's so different. Like when I was a when I ran track, if I jumped higher, I won. If I ran faster, I won. In music, it's not that way. If you have a record label putting millions of dollars behind a song, they can make really terrible song a hit. They can. So
no one can rip you for starting out the blocks wrong if you win the race. So
that's
that's all.
right. That's exactly right. I mean, I think that's the way it is, and I think you just only a couple of times if somebody said this song's a smash, it's a smash, and it was right. And that's been once or twice, just only in Paradise for sure. That they were like that song comes out, and everybody was just like, well, that's a no-brainer. And then songs that I loved or artistically were something that meant a lot to me. They just maybe they made they either went top five or top 10. I mean, I had This Is God, I had that song out, and everybody gave me so much crap about that. You just you have to follow your artistic instincts, and just do what you do. And then I guess not everybody's going to like everything. That's just the way it is,
Well,
and, you know,
was there one song that surprised you one way or the other, that it did more successfully, more than you thought, or the one you thought was a can't miss kind of flopped?
there's a lot of those, I mean, where, um, I had a ballad, Rose Bouquet, which was it's a sad song, it's about a divorce, right? So, and that song was, it was a top 10 song or whatever, but everybody thought, oh, this is the number one song. It wasn't, or, um, but I think you can't predict something like that. There's so many extenuating, like Six Pack Summer. My God, that was the biggest song of my career. It came out, it went to number five or something in like 2 weeks. It went just bypassed everything. It was huge. And then 9/11 happened. And then they stopped playing that song. They stopped playing anything happy, right? So, I mean, something like that is just weird. How even events that go on, out in the world can completely blast a song, and but it's of course it's a great song live, and it's always a huge song live. But um, it was just it, it was unbelievable. I couldn't believe it.